Scientists discover evidence of ancient Martian groundwater in Antarctica. Though the Allen Hills 84001 meteorite was discovered in 1984, scientists have not been able to determine if the organic matter came from Mars or Earth until now. About 15 million years ago, a chunk of a 4 billion year old rock broke away from the surface of Mars and crash landed on Earth. While the meteorite's 1984 discovery in Antarctica was remarkable enough, a new analysis of the rock has yielded traces of carbon and nitrogen, which are essential ingredients for life. According to Life Science, the meteorite was named Allen Hills 18001 in honor of its discovery site. It's long been known to contain organic materials, which experts waging a decades-long debate whether or not these originated on Mars or contaminated the meteorite on Earth. According to Forbes, researchers from Tokyo's Earth Life Science Institute, ELSI, and the Institute of Space and Astronomical Science at Japan's Aerospace Exploration Agency, JAXA, believe their findings published in the Nature journal can finally put this argument to rest. The Japanese experts discovered that some of the nitrogen and carbon materials on the meteorite were trapped inside carbonated globules, meaning they have been shielded from the outside all along, which means there might have been subterranean rivers on Mars that could have supported life. The study says these carbonated molecules kept the organic materials intact over long geological times. The paper explained that the host rock of the meteorite likely resided permanently underground, protected from harsh ultraviolet and cosmic radiation for billions of years, with carbonate minerals usually participating from groundwater. The findings indicate both a wet and organic Mars. Most of the nitrogen scientists have discovered on Mars was either locked up in nitrogen gas or found within chemicals in the soil. This recent finding of organic nitrogen compounds in the carbonate, however, suggests that if life was present on Mars, it had the same form of nitrogen as life on our Earth. The two claims, that the organic materials came from Mars, not Earth, and that they relied on the same form of nitrogen that earthly life does, suggests that there was an organic-rich early Mars with an active groundwater environment. Most convincing is the fact that the levels of organic nitrogen experts found were far higher than could be caused by contamination from Antarctic ice. This points towards the organic nitrogen material entering the rock while it was being formed. Experts studied the meteorite fragment in the Class 100 clean lab, quote unquote, which requires anyone involved there to wear bodysuits from head to toe, while the airflow is thoroughly controlled to prevent contaminating particles from floating around. And this type of lab is usually employed by manufacturers of advanced technologies, from spacecraft to pharmaceutical production. Previous research into these meteorites, however, took place at more traditional lab environments, leading some critics to argue they were contaminated at that point. The recent study saw scientists peel off tiny grains of carbonate before blasting them with a beam of ions to remove any contaminants on the surface. The layer beneath, according to the scientists, represent what the chemicals inside the meteorites looked like before arriving on Earth. This is when they discovered the high level of organic material unlikely to have been caused in Antarctica. And since, according to the paper, nitrogen is an essential element for all life on Earth, it is necessary for protein, DNA, RNA, and other vital materials. Mars may have once supported life. In the end, organic materials can form in all sorts of lifeless places across our solar system. According to Space, there was even evidence discovered in the dust floating between the stars in 2011. Whether or not life once existed in the rich oceans of Mars is unclear, but we're getting closer to finding out. In this article, scientists discover evidence of ancient Martian groundwater in Antarctica, originally created for All That Interesting, and is published here under Creative Commons. This is on Collective Spark by Steve McCambly. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, You will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.